Death Valley National Park is one of 429 national park sites in the United States. Located just about 4 hours north of Los Angeles, California, this national park is the hottest, driest, and lowest of them all. There's tons to do here, but in such an unforgiving environment, it's hard to figure out what to do and where to go, especially with kids. Our guide here will show you some of the best things to do, places to go, and the most efficient travel itinerary to get it all done with kids. We'll start with some easy spots, but the last 3 will be the prettiest, the coolest, and then spookiest. So stick around to the end to catch the best of our travel guide for Death Valley National Park. Starting with number 1, Mesquite Sand Dunes. The Mesquite Sand Dunes were beautifully and naturally crafted by wind and then deposited in this location over thousands of years. We drove up from Los Angeles on a Friday and we're glad we got here during the evening as it's cooler. It's one of the closest spots from the entrance, so it's a great place to visit first. The kids had a blast racing and running down the sand dunes. The cool, dry breeze felt great in the evening. We wanted to find a spot to take pictures of smooth sand, but that would have required time and a very far walk in. So we just stayed content where we were and had fun taking some pictures while enjoying the evening air. The next day, Saturday, was our big day. We planned 5 spots to visit, but we weren't sure how it would go. Either way, we made sure we got a good breakfast, packed up food, water, and ice for the road, and we were on our way to our second spot, Mosaic Canyon. Mosaic Canyon turned out to be one of the coolest hikes we've experienced. It starts out wide but quickly narrows. The kids had fun climbing, playing, and sliding down the unique features of the canyons. The canyon formed because a system of cracks, known as faults, developed in the area millions of years ago. Running water channeled into these faults for centuries and has gradually carved out the canyon with its unique waves and features. The canyon offers shade here and there, but there are other spots that are completely exposed. So tip for you guys out there: bring hats, sunscreen, and lots of cold water. Even though we came prepared, the heat was a bit much at times for our 4-year-old daughter. Be prepared to help your little ones if it's a bit hot out. Our 8-year-old, on the other hand, did just fine. The entire hike is 4 miles long in and out. You can hike all the way in or just turn around whenever time permits. We stopped around the stadium area, which is about 1 mile in. We rested a bit, hung out with some lizards, and then turned back around. We didn't realize this, but the hike in is all gradually uphill. That means that the hike out is all downhill and much easier. Our daughter, who had a hard time hiking in, was literally running out. This was a really cool hike, and it turned out to be one of our all-time favorites. Next stop is number 3, Badwater Basin. Badwater Basin, a vast salt flat, holds the title for North America's lowest elevation at negative 282 feet or 86 meters below sea level. Starting from Mosaic Canyon, our drive to Badwater Basin showcased a gradual drop in elevation. Once there, the simplest way to enjoy the basin is to walk down, locate the sign, and snap your photos. Take a moment to glance back at the mountain sign marking sea level. Fun fact: Badwater Basin turns into Lake Manly during heavy rains, like the recent ones from atmospheric rivers. We wanted to make more of our experience and were intrigued to find the natural hexagons that show up in the basin, so we decided to hike further in. Another tip, or perhaps warning for you guys out there: this hike is flat but can be very stressful, especially in any kind of heat. The low elevation adds air pressure, so the air can feel very oppressive and suffocating here. Make sure that you're feeling in good shape if you walk further in. Most of us did fine, but again, our daughter had a difficult time, which meant more carrying by Daddy. About half a mile in, we started seeing some shapes form in the salt basin, but we were amiss to find any of the perfect honeycomb patterns. It was quite the adventure for us, but in all honesty, it's probably not something we would do again, at least not in hot weather. Number 4, Devil's Golf Course. A short drive from Badwater Basin is Devil's Golf Course. This was one of the easiest spots to explore, and it was a treat to come here after the grueling hike at Badwater Basin. As soon as you step out of the car, you'll see a large field of rocky salt terrain that looks completely alien, as if you were on another planet. We loved walking around, exploring the jagged landscape, and taking pictures. A safety tip for you guys: make sure to wear good hiking shoes. The area is very uneven and the rocks are very sharp. Take care and have fun while you make a short stop here. Number 5, Artist Drive and Artist Palette. Artist Drive is a scenic drive in an area with hills adorned with soft colors. Artist Palette is a possible stop along this beautiful drive. Shortly after entering this one-way road, you'll notice cars parked on the side checking out some overlooks. We weren't sure if Artist Palette was at this stop, so we decided to pay a visit. Turns out it was a scenic viewpoint, but not the right spot. We drove in further and found a spot where we could view the spectacular hills in the distance, providing us an opportunity to take some nice pictures. As we were short on time, we skipped the hike. But tip for you guys, if you want to hike to Artist Palette, skip the first spot and go straight here. We left a pin in the description, so go there for the exact location. Our favorite part of this drive is actually found after the hiking trailhead. Here, you drive through windy roads that felt almost like going through a bigger version of Mosaic Canyon. The drive itself turned out to be very relaxing, a much welcome break after being in the hot sun for so long. Our next stop is our favorite spot. But if you found this helpful so far, please consider liking this video and hitting subscribe. As we are a new channel, every subscriber means a lot to us. Alright, number 6 is our favorite spot, which is Zabriskie Point at sunset. Zabriskie Point is an amazing spot where you can enjoy a relaxing atmosphere and beautiful sunset. Getting to the viewpoint requires a very short hike up a moderate hill. At the top, people are set up all around to enjoy the views and amazing sunset. We chose to walk further out to get an unobstructed view of the sunset. Tip for you guys out there: remember to find out when the sun sets and get here with enough time to catch the sun setting. And yet another tip: don't rush and forget your tripod like we did. A tripod definitely helps, but even without it, we had much fun taking pictures and videos up here. At sunset, the sky explodes with color over expansive scenery. It was really one of the most beautiful sunsets we've ever seen. The pictures and videos simply don't do it justice. Once the sun sets and it's cooler, you can run down the canyon like our son did. Looking down, you'll see landscapes of the Golden Canyon Trail, notable for its massively eroded landscape. Number 7, Darwin Falls. An oasis in the desert, Darwin Falls, the coolest spot on our list, is a hike that's not actually inside the national park, but right outside of it. We chose to go there on our last day here, as it's right on the way out and it worked out really nicely for us. To start, you drive on dirt road that takes you to a small parking lot. The trailhead is there and the hike starts flat and easy, with a very open and exposed scene that is dry and arid. But not far in, you're greeted with water and you start noticing the landscape become greener. The greenery offers some shade for short rests. This felt very refreshing after being in the hot sun after all the previous spots on our list. Make sure to look for some lizards lurking around and insects living in the streams. Later on, you'll encounter some fun little obstacles, like boards to cross over, along with some easy scrambling as you approach the waterfall. Our 8-year-old did just fine, but our 4-year-old required that Daddy lift her up at times. The waterfall is modest, but very green, picturesque, and zen-like. You can take your shoes off to cool off a bit and rest before heading back out. Overall, it was really cool to be able to explore this oasis in the middle of the desert. It was a great last hike in the Death Valley area. Number 8, Ballarat Ghost Town. If time permits, and especially if you're heading back towards Los Angeles, you can make a stop here at the spookiest spot on this list, Ballarat Ghost Town. Ballarat Ghost Town used to be an old mining town serving nearby mining camps from 1897 to 1917. Since then, it has been largely abandoned. To get there, you drive a few miles off the highway on a smooth dirt road. Driving in, you're greeted by an eerie quietness as you become witness to dilapidated structures and abandoned vehicles. The spookiest thing was probably the morgue, where you can ring a bell and conjure up images of the past. After exploring around, we found one store that actually was open where we bought some cold drinks. After we overcame the initial eeriness of the area, the kids explored a little bit more, hopped in old vans and cars, and we had fun taking some pictures. We didn't spend too much time, but it turned out to be fun and served as a neat last stop to our trip. And that's it for our travel guide to Death Valley National Park. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more travel ideas around Los Angeles and around the world. As a new channel, it would mean a lot to us. Anyway, keep wandering out there. See you!